First of all, I'd like to thank you for this invitation and for the honor to give me the opportunity to explain how Greek economy is linked to migration policy. The European Commission, in its winter forecast, estimates that growth rate in Greece will reach 8.5% for 2021, and this will go on for 2022 and 2023 with 4.9 and 3% respectively. So Greece has achieved the highest in growth rate after Ireland, and the second highest growth rate for the 3-year period 2021-2023 cumulatively. The key reason for this is the major increase in exports, increase in private consumption, industrial production and tourism, following the major increase that was experienced in summer 2021, and all these sectors are linked to the lawful immigrants into our country. And I'd like to share with you the tools that we use in order to manage migration. We have got the Asylum, Immigration and Integration Fund and the Fund for Borders. For the period 2014-2020, which coincided with a major migration crisis in Greece and Europe, the competent European Community allocated approximately 3.7 billion euro for various actions, including the national programs, the so-called TAMETEA, and extraordinary resources between 2015 and 2017. In the new program period, 2021-2027, the three funds will be financed, TAMETEA and the Borders Fund, with actions amounting to 1.5 billion euro, of which for the external borders approximately 500, and for the others approximately 450 million, respectively. For the special integration programs, we use three financial tools, and I'm talking about integration programs for lawful, regular immigrants who will enter the labor market, Greek labor market, as in the farming or other sectors. We have the integration fund, 15% of which is earmarked for social integration purposes. Then we have got the RRF with an amount of 35 million euro, including VAT. And for the first time again, we will manage to use the ESF, the European Social Fund, for grants, training grants, apprenticeship courses, and integration of regular immigrants. Now, assessing the social economic impacts of the previous period, we have to say that 3,900 new jobs were created, 2,309 of which were filled by people who reside close to hospitality centers, and according to a study that was performed by our ministry, these new jobs that were created in this program, in the current program period, and especially in the past couple of years, they led to a potential decrease of the unemployment rate by 52%. The overall footprint of these funds on the real economy, according to our study, can reach 0.76% of the GDP. According to the same study, the national programs of these three migration funds, funds for the management of the migration, increased the well-being indicator by 6.5%. And in the past couple of years, using these financial instruments, there was an increase in the safety and confidence index of the citizens by 7%. Again, in the past couple of years, confidence in the EU policies increased by 21%, and the increase of people's confidence in Greece's policies and migration by 21%. Of course, we're not going to be complacent. We will continue to strive for a fair and rigorous immigration policy. In the current program period 2021-2027, the central review will be monitoring, rather will be exercised by the Ministry of Migration. This will further step up the reliability and credibility of our country. We have stepped up our efforts in order to find additional resources to use them for green development, as well as hospitality facilities for vulnerable population and immigrants. And we work closely with the European Social Fund in order to further implement actions for expenses regarding, among others, healthcare. Now, hence we gain access to resources for various services for the benefit of marginalized and vulnerable groups. At the same time, we place emphasis and we're amending our migration policy, placing emphasis on restoring the legal immigration routes. And this has to do, as you may have heard, with our effort to establish bilateral agreements with the countries of origin of irregular immigrants in order to restore legal routes and stop illegal trafficking into our country, into Europe. We recently signed an agreement, the first one with Bangladesh, which is a win-win agreement, in fact, for both countries, because we restore the legal route for the people's employment in the agricultural sector and immigrants' employment in the farming and agricultural sector. And the second benefit for our country this time is that Bangladesh will now accept the repatriation of all irregular immigrants coming from Bangladesh. We're also in similar discussions with Pakistan, Egypt, and India, so that such bilateral agreements can mark a new beginning in the migration policy of our countries, putting an end to irregular migrants and, of course, traffickers. In the long run, regular migration, according to indicators, improve the productivity of a country, as people who lawfully migrate are the ones who actually want to work, produce, contribute, and then return to their home countries, having created something good for themselves, for their lives, and leaving a positive footprint on the host country where they worked. So what we're trying to do on our part is to increase these positive social and economic benefits of the proper migration management, and then let immigrants help us restart the Greek economy, which seems to be on track over the past couple of years. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you all the best.